Why is it that everyday Americans do not have access to the prices of medical equipment or procedures? You know, sometimes when you look at the medical procedures, it'll have not one, not two, literally dozens of different charges associated with the same procedure. It's mind-boggling to me. Imagine living in a world where we could actually shop for the best price for a knee replacement or an MRI. Well, AMAC trying to make that a reality. If you want to help AMAC, you can become a member by going to amac.us/voice. Here to help me talk more about this and all things AMAC is AMAC Action Senior Vice President Andy Mangione. Andy, thank you for being here.
My pleasure, Steve. Thank you.
You know, I learned this recently doing some work on a documentary. And what you find out is if there's insurance company A, insurance company B, C, D, E, there's different prices for everybody. If you walk in off the street, this is what the strangest thing is. If you're getting an x-ray in the emergency room and you have insurance, those are the lowest rates. If you're just some schlub off the street, you walk and you don't have insurance, that's the highest possible price, which to me seems upside down. Nobody knows what it costs to go to the hospital because they never publish the rates. And that just doesn't seem normal to me. What do you say?
It's complex by design. It's overregulated. And what AMAC Action has been advocating for, Steve, is hospital price transparency. So what is that? That's hospitals posting the prices for what are known as shoppable medical services, which are those services that can be scheduled in advance and are not emergency services. Now, you mentioned a hip replacement or a knee replacement. Imagine if you need one, or if a loved one, you have a loved one that needs one. Why shouldn't you be able to shop for this like you do for every other major purchase that you make in your life? These are free market principles that we've been advocating for being applied in healthcare. So when you have multiple hospitals in your community competing for your business, what do you think that does to the cost of the procedure? It drives it down.
Well, and nobody knows what they're paying for. I mean, I took my wife to the emergency room here, I don't know, 5 years ago because she didn't feel well. And they did all these tests and all this. We were in the emergency room for 4.5 hours. The bill was $10,000. Now, we had insurance, so we didn't pay that. But still, the bill it was $10,000. None of this makes any sense to me. We need to have transparency in pricing. I mean, an MRI, Andy, costs whatever it costs. My shoulder, you take a picture of it, you x-ray it, it costs whatever it costs. It can't be $1 here, $5 here, and $1 million over there. It costs what it costs, and the prices should be standardized. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. It's important that hospitals post actual prices and not estimates, because sometimes they try to get around this by posting estimates. Because when hospitals do not post their upfront prices, as you've experienced, they can charge patients whatever they want. And get this, Steve, this is why medical debt is the leading cause of personal bankruptcy in America. And AMAC Action has been supporting many bills in Congress that supports hospital price transparency.
You know, you've got more than 2 million members now, AMAC, and you're growing. So your voice is becoming much more, clear. And you have much more clout when it comes to talking to politicians and so forth. So where do we go from here? How do we say, look, guys, it's all fine and well, but things like Obamacare didn't solve health care. And Obamacare never talked about affordability, never dealt with any of that. It was just an insurance scheme. That's all it ever turned out to be. We need to talk about real health care reform in America, and that means getting prices under control. And that doesn't mean price controls. That means, getting some sensible, common sense ideas applied to the way things are priced and the way people are charged so that they don't have that you just said quite aptly, the number one cause of bankruptcy in America is health care bills. Shouldn't be that way, Andy. I'll give you the last word.
Well, AMAC members have been very involved on hospital price transparency. The most recent bill that we activated the membership on is the Lower Cost, More Transparency Act that's currently in Congress. AMAC members mobilized this year to generate some 40 co-sponsors for the bill, and then followed that up, Steve, by sending over 11,700 messages to their United States congressmen telling them to support this bill. We're following this bill. It's still up there, and we're going to see it through to completion, hopefully sometime this Congress.
Well, I hope you do, because we need this kind of change in America to protect seniors like me, members of AMAC like me. We need to do that. By the way, if you want to be a member of AMAC, easy thing to do, amac.us/voice. You can do that right now, amac.us/voice. Get all sorts of great benefits and opportunities. Andy, greatly appreciate you being here. I hope you're successful because we need some changes out there, my friend.
Thank you, Steve. My pleasure.
Really appreciate you being here. All right. After the break, we'll have a story that reminds us of how wonderful America is, plus your answers to our America's Voice question of the day. Will multiculturalism be the downfall of America, or is it already? We'll be back.